Wow, Skr. Goodness gracious, we've got some rain. Freezing rain, that is, making a fall. Oh, wow. This is total like ice as I go flying off my own camper as I'm videoing. Hey, puppy, so we got freezing rain here. It is a freezing ass morning. Hey, good Thursday already? Wow, that's hard to believe. It's just nasty out here. Cold. It's a typical DC, Virginia, Maryland area, metro area, where we get these temperatures that hover right around snow or freezing rain. And I didn't even realize it was this bad. Actually, until Brian kind of reached out this morning and said, "Are we working today?" And I was like, at first I was like, yeah, but then I was like, I don't know. Because around here, people are just crazies when it gets to be icy. So the driveway is actually icy and slick as I slip and slide over to the house. And yeah, wow. I mean, sincerely, I think the main roads are okay. So let's get on over here to the house and get the morning adventures going on the Ice Age TV. And like I say, this is extremely slippery. The rocks are glazed over. And interesting how you get a little closer to the house. Yeah, everything pretty much iced over. So got all the puppies here. And aren't they getting so big? Isn't it incredible? I'm not going to show my code to get in my house, which has been happening a few times. All right, let's get you guys in. And got to turn the camera off because people would get upset otherwise. Come on, puppies. Let's see if we get the pack out. Come on, pack. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Get out. 2, 4, 6, 8. I think we got them all. All right, let's trudge on over, not fall, on the frozen over driveway. Come on, puppies, as we get on over for the morning talk. Look at the puppies. They like Ginger. They nice little Ginger baby. That's a good thing. I can only hope and pray that the dog's puppy type of attitudes and the way they are carries over as they become adults, because as everybody knows, that was not really the relationship with Kiefer and Ginger. It was bad. Wow, it's so incredible how slick the driveway is, but it's going to warm up this afternoon, so this is all going to dissipate and the icicle look is going to go away. Come on, puppies. And got to keep the routine going. So far, the pooping in the garage has really diminished, thank God, because it's so disgusting. Maybe on my channel, I mean, I'm right there with you. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, your shop is disgusting. Right. I don't disagree whatsoever. And it's so weird. What is that on the floor there? This is kind of weird. What happened there? I have no idea. All right, so let's get the big dogs up into the office so we can get the morning routine going. And then get the big dogs, little dogs, outside of the barn. Got all 4 of you with it raining out. I think they're a little more adamant to wanting to just be inside, not outside, because it's raining, everybody. All right, you guys, let me do this here. Let me turn off my video so I don't waste my time here. All right, you have to listen to all the chaos. Some of my subscribers think that I waste too much time just showing all that stuff, and yeah, I don't disagree, but I just like to share with you the daily routine. It's so interesting, this new Samsung phone, the 25 compared to the 22. Would I upgrade? If you had a 22, I don't know if I'd spend the money. It's not really that much different per se to me. But what I notice is when I go to the settings here to go from the camera to the video, it seems like it's harder to get my index finger over. Like I say, relocated the way the menu is for your photo, portrait, video, so it's much more challenging. Or maybe it's because I have a new style case, one of these heavy-duty case, and it's designed, it's how my hand is holding it. So, all right, here we are in the morning conversations on a February, I just can't keep track of time. Yesterday's my mother's birthday. It's just hard to keep track of time. Is today the 6th? Today's the 6th, right? And this is now 2 years ago. My nephew Micah died on a motorcycle right after my mother's birthday on February 5th. So happy belated birthday to my mother. I mean, I gave my mother a birthday wish yesterday, and the whole family did. But my mom's 92 years old. So 92 years ago, no, so it would actually be 60 years ago. I can't even think straight about that. But it's hard to believe that my mom was carrying me in 1963, and on her birthday, February 5th, 1963, she had a baby in her stomach, and she had no idea it was coming, right? Did she have any idea it was coming? Boy, I make fun of me and my dad talk about my brother. I'm like, are you sure that's your kid, Dad? Are you sure that my brother's that you really produced that guy? We laugh so much about that because it's all in good. Sadly, somebody mentioned yesterday when I go back and forth from one screen to another, it's like there's a delay of voice, which I can believe that. But I think the other one had the same thing happen too. So it's nice to hear all these comments to people who watch my channel, and I appreciate that. But yeah, so yeah, sadly my nephew Micah passed away. He was killed on a motorcycle down there in Florida in an intersection where a lady pulled right out in front of him, and that's how you die. I mean, sadly on motorcycles, we all know how dangerous they really are. But you know, the reality is, and not here by any means to rationalize that a motorcycle is safer than a car, but a good 40,000+ people a year die in a vehicle, and a good 4,000 people a year die on motorcycles. So it is kind of ironic that we're more petrified of motorcycles, but yet basically 12 times, 10 to 12 times more people die in vehicles because it's all proportional, because we know we've got more cars and trucks and vehicles out there than there are motorcycles. So here we are in the morning conversation. Boy, I tell you what, if you just can't get the entertainment like never ever seen in our lifetime in politics, with Donald Trump being reelected, which I am blown away that guy stood strong. There's a perfect example of a person where others tried to ruin him, and he never ever gave up. So, I mean, some people will say, that, oh, he's this rich-ass guy that blah, 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 and blah, blah. But it's like, come on, man. Could you really do what Donald Trump did? Could you really go through all the crap that guy... Until you're on social media or you're in public presence and people just mouth off on you. You have any people who start social media channels and just a few people make negative comments to them and they shut it down? I mean, it's huge. And so as a politician, you gotta have thick blood. I don't care what side of the party you're on, but it's incredible to be watching what is going on with Elon Musk and Trump truly trying to get this government in order and truly get a handle on where is all this money going. And it's incredible how the Democratic Party, for me, somebody can correct me, if you're a Democrat and watch my channel, I would say it's 50-50 shot that I have many Democratic followers. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not here to call anybody out because I think that Democratic people, for the most part, want the same thing we want. The sad part is they have elected officials that have kind of really just got out of tune to what the country is. But the whole point is, I don't see many Republicans rallying people around them in front of federal buildings to protest Elon Musk and Donald Trump's policy of wanting to do an internal audit of the government of where all our money's going. I just kind of don't get that. What's wrong with that? Why is that such a bad thing? So you just have to say the guilty parties have all shown up in front of these federal buildings protesting the audit of the federal government because they're part of the problem. They're the people that are participating in taking the taxpayers' money and using it foolishly, and what so many people really feel that they're just actually enriching themselves. It's just a big loop of money supposedly goes somewhere, but in the back end, it's being fed to a lot of cronies. And so this guy, Isaiah Carter, a black gentleman, probably in his 40s, has 75,000 followers on X. He is going off on X. He's calling the Democratic Party out. And he's really very upset with the Democratic Party. of misleading the black people. He's point blank says, so if anybody on my channel thinks, well, why do you get to reference this guy as a black guy? Because the guy is very mad at the Democratic Party for being the masters of deception. I've always have talked about the Democratic Party, and I'm not saying that the GOP doesn't have their problems too. They do. The whole government. I mean, for the record, why is the Republican Party sat on the sidelines for how many years to let this USAID, U.S. Aid for International Development, continue to go on? So, I mean, the Republican Party is just as much a problem as any other person in the federal government that hasn't opened the door to see what we're witnessing more than ever in our lifetime of just the corruption beyond believable of the taxpayers' money is being used to entitle the select few. So this Isaiah Carter, he is going off on how the Democratic Party, these are terrible people. They have undermined the black community. They want nothing. They present themselves to help the black community, but they do nothing for the black community. I mean, you got to go see it. It's on X. Just look up the guy's username, Isaiah L. Carter. And once again, he is posting now a few posts on X where he's being very verbal and he's very upset with the Democratic Party, really abusing their powers by using the black people. Wow. By abusing their powers by using women for transgender advancements. Wow. I mean, it's wow. I mean, so if this video is to get blocked or called out, that would be like beyond believable. Then yours just shows that the YouTube is really is Google YouTube part of this USAID of money being funneled into their organization somewhere, somehow? I don't think so. I don't think they need the money. Google's too rich. Google's rich as hell. Google makes way too much money. Google makes all the money on the YouTube side. The creators don't make much money at all. In fact, I was seeing myself the other day, why don't we have the socialism Bernie Sanders? I'd love to hear the socialism Bernie Sanders presentation on social media. Why does Mr. Beast get to make hundreds of millions of dollars and Cletus McFarland to make so much money in their YouTube channel, but my channel doesn't make much of anything? Hey, I'm going to start the socialism social media where I'm going to demand that all the monies are shared proportionally equal to all YouTube creators. Oh, yes, that's going to be my new I'll get Bernie Sanders to join in with me, and we'll start mouthing off about how all these YouTube guys make way too much money. They're favored by Google, and it's not fair. And for the Iceman, he needs to get a big share of all the other big people's money. How would that sound? What we live in, but that's what we live in, and the political parties that have the divisions between them, of like the Bernie Sanders, of like the Democratic Party that's never ending pounding their fists for more taxes out of the rich people. For what? Why? Why do you need more tax money when you're already taking that money and spending it frivolously at the taxpayer's expense? But yet you'll attack the people that make too much money, and what people don't understand is, but these people make too much money, they're already paying 100 times, 1,000 times more in taxes than you'll ever pay in your lifetime. Ever. It's like, the guys that the billionaires, they're paying millions in taxes, but it still isn't good enough. Well, how much are you paying in taxes? Well, if you're the average person, I guarantee you're paying 30, 40 grand a year in taxes if you're making 100 grand a year. And then if you include your real estate tax, personal property tax, it starts to get heavy and deep. Whole point is, the millionaires are paying more tax than thousands and hundreds of thousands of people ever pay in the system, but they still get beat up. So once again, it's Isaiah Carter, who Elon Musk highlighted himself, really, like, hey, look at this guy, listen to this guy, and his social media allows people to get on there and mouth off and tell it the way it is. And once again, we're already witnessing what's playing out right now, and that is that all the Democratic people are getting pissed off. Democratic politicians wouldn't say all the Democratic people are getting pissed off, and the Democratic politicians are getting all riled up and getting rallies and trying to unnerve this whole Doge. Come on back, Prince. Come back, Gypsy, get it back up here. Why are you guys down there? So these guys here, thank God, are more here. But Prince and Gypsy, Gypsy, get back here. Prince, get back up here. Come on back. Don't start that. I want to be on the rain. I have no desire to be on the rain. Come on, get back here. Looky here. Looky here. So, and now Al Green is beginning the impeachment proceedings for Donald Trump. You know, it's all about distraction. They can only hope and pray something radical happens to our country, like right now, to take this whole focal point off of how they've been caught with their pants down like never ever seen. I mean, if you really were following this, if you're not following this in any great length and detail, then you really don't need to comment on my channel that this is malarkey and it's all favoritism to Donald Trump and Elon Musk. You just don't need to say anything, because if you don't know how deep this is. But what they're saying is, this is just the beginning. Did you just hear me? Elon Musk is basically giving hints and wording that this, you haven't even seen the worst of it. What? Oh, I mean, sincerely, how bad is it going to get? Yes, and only the Democratic Party can only hope they can resurrect, but here's a challenge. The Democratic Party's going to have a hard time resurrecting the BLM and all these other radical groups that they get together. Yeah, somebody's heard the word BLM, right? They're being funded through this U.S. aid. It's all money being siphoned back. And people say misinformation. Okay, well, let's hear the information how the BLM's funded. And they're just showing that a lot of these groups that are protest to conservative views and ideas are being funded through the USAID. So that's not misinformation. The point is, can the Democratic Party now rally up all the millions or thousands of people to get in the streets and start protesting this when the funds have been put on hold for monies to be dispersed to these so-called international development agencies, or what do you want to call them, when they don't get the money no more? They don't have any money besides calling George Soros or Alex Soros to take advantage of monies to get the people all riled up to shut down what we're seeing is the federal government abuse their policies of taking taxpayers' monies and spending it in frivolous ways that the taxpayers don't support, nor do they like, that the entitlement to select few abuse the system, the tax system, that just takes your tax money just to put it in their own bank account to enrich themselves. How is that fair, anybody? It's not fair. So some people say, I had one subscriber the other day reaching out and saying, your channel, blah, 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 you know, you're got too political. And it's like, the morning conversations I've had now for years, half the conversation is about the cars and trucks and motorcycles, and then we talk about the state of times. And then I was responding to this person, it's like, it blows me away how many thousands of videos I have that have nothing to do with political talk, because I've had people come and reach out to me a few times that the reason your channel isn't doing well is because you're too political. And I think, but Dan Bongino, Charlie Kirk, I mean, you go through the list of social media personalities that have come out of nowhere, not so much Dan Bongino, but there's other big-time social media people on YouTube that all their content is political jargon. Why are they so successful? They have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, they get thousands of views, and their content is political. So to me, it's like this. It's malarkey. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. I'm not going to buy into your gig because I talk that it destroys my channel. If you want to watch the car section, there's a gazillion car videos and boat videos and popcorn videos, motorcycle riding videos, car reviews, how-to videos. But you don't go through the library to look at that. You just want to watch one of my videos, and then you're not happy the way I talk because you may be a Democratic person that just doesn't believe that this is actually true. If you're a sitting congressman or senator in this country, it's a Democratic person, you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear how you get your pants caught. You know, you've been caught your pants down. You just don't want to hear that language because you can't take it. And that's why all the Democratic parties can do now is create the masters of deception and try to rile up people to believe something different and how they're totally innocent and this is all being overhyped. But hey, please just turn back on the paycheck payments, would you, Mr. Elon? So now yesterday, changing it up. So I'll kind of change it up here on the Dodge Charger. And one person said, what a shame they used the Dodge Charger. It should have been called a Dodge Checker. Yeah, remember the Checker British taxi cab vehicles? That's what they should have called that Dodge vehicle, a Checker vehicle, because It's not going to check all the boxes off for people to like it. It really was. The video to me, I kind of goofed up a little bit because I did a whole walk around video, but that was like close to 5 minutes. But then I did a whole car review video, which was like 34 minutes. It gets too long, right? So I did 2 separate videos. The video I did, the actual car review, I should have been a little bit more explaining what the car was before I got in it and I drove it around the road. But it doesn't really matter. It's going to be a fail. It's going to be a flop. Those things are going to sit on the lots. You're going to collect dust. You're going to be a fool to buy that car. As soon as you buy that car, it's going to be worth half. And you won't be able to get rid of it. I'm going to tell you straight up. Whoever goes out and buys this Dodge Charger electric vehicle, you're going to be the Iceman stories of where the guy went out in a Black Lightning truck for $100,000. And I'll be lucky to get now probably 30 grand for that vehicle because it has such the history now of battery pack issues. And when it goes to auction, if I can't get it lemon, if I can't get this thing lemon, major, it's going to be radical because nobody's going to want that truck because it just has a history of never-ending problems. So it's just going to be a brick. So it should be lemon. Whole point is, if you go out and buy that Dodge Charger for full retail, but one of my subscribers claims they're already taking 10 grand off. It's way overpriced. It's way overpriced. It's ridiculous how much you want for that electric Charger. To me, there really isn't anything fun about it. It just was nothing there. I just didn't feel the connection with the car. And once again, so whoever out there goes out and buys this Dodge Charger, I can guarantee you, when you go to maybe trade in a year from now, they're going to probably put about a $30,000, $35,000 value in that vehicle. Now, keep in mind, I was in stage 1 RT package, which is the basic, lowest, I guess, per se model. And you can get a stage 3, you can get a scat pack. And yeah, I think that those are going to bring some more flair to it. But at the same time, it's just going to be more power, a little different look to it, maybe with the wheel and tire package. But overall, I just didn't have a connection with that car. And I have talked so much about this on my YouTube channel throughout the years. And when I was one of the first to get the F-150 Lightning in this area, I got an F-150 Lightning back in June of 2022. And I was one of the first to get one of these in the area. And I did a whole review on that vehicle. I did a whole tow review on that vehicle. I showed me going to Tennessee in the vehicle. It was no trailer. I showed me coming back from Tennessee with that vehicle. And Julia following me in my F-250 Tremor diesel truck. I showed you how we can only go about 80 miles. I gave you great information so much information. Overkill. The charging stations, it didn't work. The charging station where the handle was on fire like a stove, a hot pan on a stove, and I grabbed it, my hand about burnt. And then we had to unhook, and we had to tow the trailer with the F-250 because the F-150 Lightning was dead in the water because the charging stations didn't work. And the next one was another 50 miles away. And then all the criteria of how the battery pack is, in how many miles. It's infinite. And then I had the Mustang Mach-E. I was one of the first to hit the Mustang Mach-E in like January of 2023, if I remember right. Or whatever, January. I think it was. I just can't keep track of the timeline. But I was one of the first to get one of those and drive it around. And that was a pretty cool car. That car, in some ways, had a little bit more of a fun factor than did that Charger. But at the same time, it was just that soulless type of feel. And that's what you get out of these electric vehicles. And even the point, I was thinking to myself, is, in hindsight, would I really go out and buy another electric truck? I would not. It's not really worth it. I just had a $1,358 electric bill on my house for 1 month. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that Brian has been driving his vehicle a lot, and my daughter is driving the Blazer a lot. So I can guarantee you there's probably $300, maybe more, of just the electric bill on that, the Blazer and the Lightning. And once again, the point is it really worth it? I forgot to give the dogs, well, they got water out there. I got the water bowl here in the sink last night that I filled up, and I forgot to put it on the ground for them. But anyways, what I wouldn't do it. I don't think I'd do it this time because it just isn't really. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm very fortunate for the moment to have a lot of vehicles, But if I only had like 1 or 2 vehicles, there's no way I would go to electric vehicles, because the driving range, you can't. It's ridiculous. Everybody, I'll be the first to raise my hand that if you can't have 3 or 4 cars, electric vehicle is not going to work for you. Now, if you're a homebody and you don't go anywhere, then great. If you don't travel anywhere in your cars, then great. It's going to be but why do you even have a car? Why do you just rent a car on the weekend? Which that's huge. Dodge Charger, the irony is yesterday, I never even drove over to dealership yesterday afternoon. So yesterday, I coordinated taking my Dodge Plum Crazy Charger over to pick up the Grand Wagoneer that had a bad thermostat, or supposedly had a recall in the thermostats. And so I took the Dodge Charger over to get the oil change, not even knowing that the Dodge Charger electric vehicle was sitting there in a lot. I wasn't even focused on that. So I wasn't even focused yesterday going to Dulles Dodge. I was more focused. No, hey, no, treats. This is what, here we go. It just doesn't end. Come on back. No, hey, Diesel, come on back. I'll turn off the video just because this turns into the chit show. No, I get it turned off. All right, I'm back. That was a fiasco. I mean, Jesus Christ. So they're all locked down in the barn now, so they can all poop in my barn. How about that? But yeah, back to yesterday. So I went to Dulles Dodge to get my Jeep Grand Wagoneer, and really my intention was to see my friends that work there and to feel them out of what's going on. Because there's no way, if you're a federal employee right now, you're sleeping at nighttime thinking that your life's a guaranteed job like it used to be. There's just no way. I don't believe it. Anybody out there that's a federal employee watch my channel, prove me wrong, but the shakeup is here. So for me, I truly believe in this area, the heyday of all these businesses riding off the government employees having guaranteed jobs, guaranteed checks, I really think that's changing. And I think a lot of people are probably stepping back and going, you know what, honey? I'm not so sure we're going to have this guaranteed lifestyle we have for all these years, and we better take a time out until the dust settles to see where this is all going. Of Elon Musk with the Doji digging up stuff that we never... No, get out! There's Rebel freaking jumping on the side of my damn car. Just doesn't end, man. Why do you have dogs, right? Yeah, when you have dogs, you're married to having to be at home. It's okay. Come here. It's all right. You just don't jump on my car, bud. It's all right. Come here. It's okay. So, he's all freaked out now because he knows Daddy gets pissed, and that's not good. So anyways, that was the main reason I went up to the dealership, besides getting my Grand Wagoneer. And I was going to try to do like a little bit of a video of the dealership there, and kind of just start feeling people out and see what the energy was and see what's going on. But instead, by accident, the Dodge Charger electric vehicle is sitting there, and then that turns into me doing a whole review in that car. But I've never been fixated in that car. What's interesting to me is you go back to the Hellcat days when they revealed the Hellcat. I was so excited about getting a Dodge Hellcat. And I was even more excited after getting my Challenger of getting the Charger 4-door Hellcat, because I came from the Pontiac Grand Prix GTP days back there in the 90s, where back in like 97, I got my first Pontiac Grand Prix turbocharged 4-door that eventually I ended up giving to my wife. But that was kind of back in the day. That was such a cool car, and I loved the 4-door setup and the vehicle. So when the Dodge Charger came along, I owned, back in 2005, 6, 7, 8, the Dodge Chargers, had the Bumblebee. I had all that stuff prior to the Hellcat days. And what I'm trying to resonate back to you is I couldn't wait until they released that Charger 4-door, because it was like a year delay from the 2-door Challenger. Now, yet here's the Dodge Charger that's come in place of the old body style and the new energy to propel it, and I've never ever been excited. I've never been like, oh, I really want one of those. And after driving one yesterday, I'm just not, there's nothing there. It isn't like I could even do anything anyways, but the point is, there's just nothing there for me. It's like, I just, the EV love has just kind of faded. I like the Chevy Blazer. I think that's a good looking vehicle, but the thing is, we got that thing for like $43,000. So it was a very inexpensive, because they discounted that vehicle $15,000 between the tax subsidy, the discounts, my GM royalty rewards, blah, 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 blah. we got 15 grand off. So that vehicle, that kind of made sense. And I thought about it for Julia, and I love the color of it, so that kind of worked. But once again, would I go out and buy another F-150 Lightning truck? Nope. Would I go out and buy the new Chevy Silverado electric truck? Nope. I was looking at the GMC Hummer, but over time, just kind of really looked at that and thought, it's so impractical. You're never going to be able to take that thing anywhere besides just locally here. And to go anywhere on a major long road trip, I'm sorry. Some people, they go, although I know, to go a 400 or 500 mile trip, don't disagree. To go to a 1,000-mile trip, I can't see it. And if I pull a trailer with it, I can't see it. It's not going to happen. So I'm going to Florida with a GMC Hummer with my motorcycle trailer. There's no way. It's going to take me 2 days to get there. I mean, okay, just drive for 24 hours in one day. Sure, whatever. Make your excuse of what do you want. So just not tasting it. So that's it. I'm not going to really talk much more. I've already talked quite a lot on this channel. And I try to keep these conversations down to the 30-minute thresholds because I just talk so much. And once again, you can go to my channel and look at my excitement of me driving that Charger. And really, one of my subscribers claims you can turn the engine, I should say the engine, I can turn off the fake motor noise, that thing. But the point is, they did a terrible job on trying to create that thing to have like a fake exhaust note. It sounds like you're riding around in a 4-cylinder car, a turbo 4-cylinder car with an exhaust on it that's been modded. It's very annoying. So there's nothing there. It's a soulless car. I feel for those who go out and buy those things because I'm going to tell you straight up, you're going to buy it, you're going to be stuck with it. You're not going to be able to get rid of it and once again, why would you buy it? You're telling me there's $200-300 a month of gas is the difference you own a car and a truck, then you shouldn't be buying a car or a truck. That's the reality. And plus, you can buy really nice used Dodge Charger, SRT 392 package, the Hellcat package. You can buy all these things for 40, 50, 60 grand right now and have a much more fun, enjoyable car. So that's what I would do, everybody. So, hey, thanks for watching Ice Age TV, and keep the Ice Age going is the goal, right? So God bless. Have a great day.